Lister was formed in 1953 by Brian Lister, and the Lister Knobbly was first created in 1957 alongside Archie Scott Brown, who was the racing driver for Lister at that time. The Lister very quickly became the most successful racing car of the 1950s, entering more than 2,000 races between 1957 and 1959. I'm Lawrence Whitaker, I'm the owner of the Lister Car Company. In 1958, the Lister Knobbly was one of the fastest racing cars of its period. The 0 to 60 time was less than 4 seconds, with a top speed of 181 miles an hour. It was as fast as a modern day Audi R8, but that is in 1958, so you get a sense of how quick the car really was. The idea to make a road-going Lister Knobbly really came about by accident. This car behind me was ordered by a customer who specifically wanted a car for the road. The customer wanted to drive the car around Lake Geneva, so we set out with the customer to make the car road legal. It took a lot of effort and a lot of to-ing and fro-ing with the regulators at VOSA, but we managed to get the car through the test, and the car is now fully road legal, and we can of course replicate that. That's what we're celebrating here, the launch of the Lister Knobbly road car. Over 500 hours go into making a Lister Knobbly body shell, and the body shells are handcrafted by our own team of expert body bashers. We don't just stamp these cars out. We're not buying the bodies in as a super formed shell. You know, these are really, really handcrafted, hand-honed vehicles, not just the body shells, but in every aspect of it. The chassis are made here, the wishbones are made here. We make everything apart from the engine and the gearboxes that we buy in from Crosswaite and Gardners, who are themselves, you know, the experts in that field. And one thing you get when you buy a Lister is you're not buying something which is mass-produced. You're buying something that is very, very bespoke, very original, very true to the original nature of Lister. We're only going to make 10 road-legal Lister Knobblies. We made 10 racing 60th anniversary Knobblies, and so it feels right to make 10 road-going cars. Then they'll be numbered 1 to 10 accordingly. The Lister Knobbly is really an antidote to the modern supercar. It's very, very raw, of course. It's based on our 1958 Silverstone winning car. The car is basically a race car that's been converted into road car use, so it's very, very raw, very authentic in the driving experience that you get. And I don't think there's really another experience where you could say, I'm driving a car which is exactly the same as the car that Stirling Moss drove in period. The reason I came to own Lister with my father Andrew was that in 2013 my father bought a Lister to restore, and little did we know at the time that the car would lead us to buy the whole company. But we trundled down to the George Lister engineering firm here in Cambridge to buy some parts for the car. The car was in boxes, you know, it needed completely restoring, and just by off chance we thought that these guys might have some blueprints or some parts that they could sell us. And little did we know when we got here, we found all the original jigs, the original body books, the original axle jigs, everything really needed to build a Lister racing car. And my father got very, very excited about the prospect of being able to put Lister back together and make road cars again. An original Lister Knobbly racing car sells for around £2.5 million today. And while this car is around a tenth of that amount of money, it represents fantastic value for money. The amount of craftsmanship that goes into the car, the work that goes in, the car is essentially exactly the same as an original Lister. It's the original Lister company as well, so the car is an original car. And the fact that we've got over a 2-year waiting list now, I think, proves that the cars represent good value for money and a good investment.